This episode of Cognitive Dissonance is brought to you by our patrons. You fucking rock. Be advised that this show is not for children, the faint of heart, or the easily offended. The explicit tag is there for a reason.
Recording live from split glory holes. That's a double dick glory hole for those interested. This is Cognitive Dissonance. Every episode we blast anyone who gets in our way. We bring critical thinking, skepticism, and irreverence, and particularly irreverence, to any topic that makes the news, makes it big, or makes us mad. It's skeptical, it's political, and there is no welcome mat. This is episode 521. Cecil, how's your pandemic, buddy?
So far, so good. You know, can't complain. Oh, man.
Go anywhere nice recently?
I did go to the store the other day, and I had a realization while I was at the store. I was walking through, and, you know, most of the stuff was there. There was, you know, for the most part, things were there. I got my first... Since everything started, I got my first pack of toilet paper, which I was excited about.
Oh, we got ours last week, too.
First time I got a chance, I walked into the store and there was actually toilet paper. They did have a thing on there that said you can only take one, but there was enough toilet. Now it was off-brand toilet paper. Don't care. It was 12 rolls of it. And so I was excited to get 12 rolls of toilet paper because we were on our last roll of toilet paper.
All right, I was a little luckier. I'm in the burbs, so you know I got Charmin. I got a 36 pack or
36.
whatever.
But look at you.
Fucking luxuries out here in the sticks. I was tempted to take a shit right there. You know, just a celebratory mid-aisle shit.
And then when you're done, just pick one piece of toilet paper up and just make it rain on the shit. Just spinning it over and over and over, and it makes a big pile right there.
Oh, my God.
So we got that, and then the other day, we still cannot get spray cleaner. So you can't get any like Lysol or what is it? What's this?
You can get essential oil cleaners.
You can.
You can get like all the bullshit that's
all
like
the seventh generation is right there.
All that fucking like rub-a-dub-dub citrus peel shit.
Exactly. It's so nice for your skin, and the coronavirus is like, feed me, Seymour. And you're just like, I need a good one. I need something that's going to kill me if I get too much on me. That's what I want. I want something that could absolutely damage me if I'm in a spill.
We are at a place now where those same people that were like, I clean my house with the scent of baby oil. They're now using the same toxic sludge from fucking RoboCop. They're just like, put in a spray bottle. Spray it on everything.
They touch their house and it just melts like that guy at the end of the it just falls over. No, but yeah, like it's the same thing. Those people were saying, oh, you know what I do is I just put a little bit of lemon juice and spritz the air and everything's clean. And no. What I want, I'm going to mix ammonia and bleach. I don't care if it kills me.
I am fumigating the house with fucking mustard gas. I don't give a shit.
But anyway, so we can't get cleaner. So any of the 409, Formula 409, none of the formulas from 0 to 409 are available. They're all unavailable right now. There's also dishwashing tabs were mostly out. There's a few, but they're not all there. Yeah, dishwashing tabs, but there's still plenty of like squeezable dishwasher. So we're lazy in our quarantine in the city.
And then, I'm not squeezing anything.
Get out of here. I just want to put a tab in there. God.
Squeezing. I haven't been working out this whole time.
And then there's the other thing I noticed that was gone. You know, most of the food is there, meats and different kinds of cheeses. And then you're talking about any of the dry goods, mostly there. The thing that's missing is all the frozen goods. What? Still, all our frozen goods, if you walk down the frozen goods aisle, they're all gone. And it occurred to me that when you're in the city and you live in the city, you have such great options for eating out that when it suddenly comes time to actually have to stay home and cook, you don't know what you're doing. So you just went, oh, fuck, what do I make? Well, I guess I'll just grab all of these Swanson frozen dinners. And I'm eating fucking Salisbury steak every night or whatever. But they're all gone. Everything's gone. I don't eat any of that stuff normally. So when I walk by it, I just look and marvel at the case that's empty. But all that prepared food that you heat up in the oven type stuff is all gone. There is still bags of vegetables and, all that stuff still there, but it's the pre-made food is almost all gone at every place I've been to in downtown Chicago.
Okay, wildly different experience out in the suburbs. It's fucking hilarious. The random shit is just there or not there. And I think it's just like, it's like somebody like closed their eyes and spun around and pointed. And it's like, empty that aisle. And then and then the next one is overflowing with a fucking cornucopia of goods. Like, we had toilet paper. It wasn't like, oh my God, so much toilet paper, but there was toilet paper, a couple of different options. You could get some shitter paper. First time in weeks and weeks, right? But it was there. 2 weeks ago, milk, not a problem. Eggs, not a problem. Last week, shit you not. I go to the store. There's a sign on the door. And this is what the sign said by the milk. Limit 10 gallons per customer.
What?
10 gallons.
What are you doing with
fucking
milk?
10 gallons. Like, what kind of crazy fucking Duggar fucking life do you live where you're like,
oh my gosh,
10 gallons every time you shop. Not 10 gallons this year, 10 gallons this month, but like 10 gallons of milk is a fucking shit's 80 pounds of milk.
What now, Uncle? What are you doing? You're at home, you walk in the kitchen and your wife is just pouring it on herself. Like, what is happening in your world?
Vitamin D upon me. Like, what the fuck? Limit 10 gallons. And Cecil, I shit you not.
Limit 10 gallons is
amazing.
amazing.
I took a picture and sent it to my wife. It looked like milk bears had ravaged the milk
Gone,
case.
huh?
It was like, Haley needs lactose-free milk, right? Because like her body is broken and can't have regular stuff.
Sure.
So like, there was like a lactose-free milk left. And it was like on its side, like with like an arrow sticking through it, and like flames everywhere. Like, it was like apocalyptic. The milk situation. You know where else the situation was dire? The frozen pizza situation.
Yeah, that's all gone here too. Yeah.
So weird, because all the rest of the frozen goods that you were mentioning are there, right? And I never buy frozen pizza. It's just that the kids wanted pizza and I was feeling cheap. So I was like, I'll buy you some fucking tombstones and like easy peasy. They're like $3-4. I don't have to order out. So I go to get tombstones. There's a million, Cecil, a fucking million Jack's cheese pizzas. There are no tombstone pizzas of any stripe or variety, and there are no pepperoni pizzas whatsoever. It's so, but if you wanted motherfucking Jack's cheese pizza, you could literally buy hundreds of them. There were cases like overflowing, like just, it's so fucking random what's there and what is not there. I cannot figure it out for the life of me. You can have all the eggs you want if they're brown. Yeah. Like, if you want, like, what? Just fucking, I get it. The brown ones are more expensive because nature or fucking whatever. Like, like white eggs nature is good or whatever. But like you can have all of them that you want if they're brown. You can have none of the milk, no pepperoni. It's just the most random shit that the store is just out of.
It is crazy. I went to the store one time this week, and I try to go maybe once or twice a week if I can. And it just depends on it's weird because you can't predict like you used to. When I was in Chicago before, it was 8:00 on Saturday night. There's never a soul in the store. You could go at 8:00 on Saturday night, and you're the only person in there. You could close your eyes, get on the back of the cart like a fucking scooter, and go as fast as you can down the aisle, banging your side
talking.
And knocking fucking cereal fucking boxes into the air, and it wouldn't matter. Nobody's there. There's nobody there. Like you listen softly and you hear the whistling sound of Western movies and a tumbleweed. It's insane.
Fucking
now it's
tumbleweeds
crazy.
are rolling through the aisles.
Yeah, now it's crazy. Now it's just insane. Like it's no matter what time I go, there's always a crowd. There's always people there.
My dad is like the last person in the world that should be leaving his house right now, right? Like my dad is like 72, health problems, COPD, former fucking heavy smoker for 50 years. Like the last, and like he's like, oh, well, I call him to check in. Well, I went to the store, and I'm like, why are you going to the store at all? Get it delivered. And he'll say like, well, they don't have everything I want. I'm like, when you went to the store, did they have everything that you wanted? You know,
exactly,
they didn't.
right?
And I'm like, they could, Dad, just hear you. Like, can you hear you right now? I'm staying, look, I want to be like, everyone else is staying inside to protect you or some version of you. And then you're not staying inside. Then why am I staying inside? Like, what?
You want your busy bee, you get your busy bee.
You get the busy bee. I need to trim her whiskers. It's in the crate.
Where is it?
It's in the crate.
Where is the crate? It's not in here. It's not in here.
It should be in the crate.
It's not in the crate. I just told you that.
God, Hamilton, if she doesn't get her door, she's gonna flip out.
You left it at the hotel. You go back and you get her busy bee. Go to the hotel and get busy bee. Run! Run! Go! Mommy's getting your toy. Don't you worry. No, we had a little discussion. Look at me. Look at me. Don't look at anybody else. Don't look at the fat-ass losers or freaks. You look at me!
I know we're not supposed to do a lot of politics, but this is just fucking ridiculous.
The title makes this. The
Special
title
report.
makes this.
I know. Former Labradoodle breeder.
Oh, God.
It's because Labradoodle was tapped to lead U.S. pandemic task force.
It's Labradoodle in the United States, but in Spain, it's Poodledor.
I gotta say, by the way, Labradoodle, fucking amazingly cute dogs. They look like fucking teddy bears. They don't even look real. They're like Labrador sized, but with like curly golden hair and like stupid, like ridiculous. They don't shed, which is like a real advantage to them, or they shed very little. They're pretty smart, but they look like motherfucking walking teddy bears. They're fucking ridiculously cute. They're amazing. So I want to read directly from this article, lest this article seem, from Reuters, by the way, like it is blowing things out of proportion. Shortly after his televised comments, Azar tapped at a trusted aide with minimal public health experience to lead the agency's day-to-day response to COVID-19.
So Azar is the Secretary of the Department of Health and Human Services, right?
Right.
Okay.
So, and the Department of Health and Human Services is enormous. It's like a $1.3 trillion budget. So like that guy doesn't do the work. He appoints people to do things underneath him.
Sure.
The guy he appointed, this motherfucking guy, this aide, Brian Harrison, had joined the department after running a dog breeding business for 6 years. Five sources say officials in the White House derisively called him the dog breeder. Look, guys, I'm not shitting on dog breeders.
No,
but like
no.
that in no way qualifies you to handle the day-to-day operations of a fucking pandemic response.
Doesn't it feel like such a random profession too? Out of all the professions you could pick, it just feels like a random. Like it's almost like someone mad-libbed it.
Yeah, it's exactly like somebody. Give me a profession, Labradoodle breeder. Like. For fucking
You're trying to be random at that point. You're going out of your way.
It's like Family Guy montage cutaway.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, at what point is the guy just like, we offered the virus a treat. We called it a treater. Treater? Want a treater? 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 That didn't work. We tried to clicker train the virus. Nope. Mm-mm.
We've just moved on to studying the virus out to other breeders.
You know, we ended up breeding a lot of virus.
Yeah. I'll guess
I may have gotten the job wrong.
You know, maybe that is what they wanted. They wanted somebody who would recognize when the virus spread. Oh, God.
For fuck's sake. For fuck's sake. We're going to hire the best people. Nothing but the best people. You'll be tired of how best the people
It's
are.
been like that the whole time. It's so sad. And it's all just crazy nepotism, right?
Yeah, right.
The reason why this guy has this job is because somebody knew somebody who said, this Labradoodle breeder is your guy.
You know, I make a lot of money in the Labradoodle game, I'm not going to lie, but I am willing to take a sweet, sweet government job. Why would you? Here's the other thing, Cecil. If somebody, I think I'm a reasonably bright guy, but I know that I'm not smart enough to lead the day-to-day operations for a pandemic response team.
Sure.
Because I don't know anything about pandemic response.
Sure.
So if somebody was like, Tom, would you like this sweet-ass job leading the pandemic response? I would say, no, what? Why are you saying that? Because any other response is horrifying.
I know.
What, would you take that job, Cecil?
Gosh, no, there's no way. There's no way.
You know what else? I'm not a helicopter pilot.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how to fly helicopters.
Maybe they were just so confident in him because he kept on saying, Labradoodle-doo! Labradoodle-doo!
I tried Labracadabra, a variation. Still, no.
What is happening in the world? Why are we doing this?
This is it. When your grandma dies, it's because somebody said Labracadabra.
The thing, Tom, is I've seen all the apocalypse movies. There's never a Labradoodle breeder. There just isn't. There just isn't. Like, there isn't a Labradoodle breeder hiding his arm behind his back with a bite mark in it, pretending that everything's okay until later when he eats a baby. Like, that doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. Where's the Labradoodle breeder in World War Z? Where's he at?
Like, put the fucking cure for the fucking virus in a Kong and they're like bouncing it around, trying to shake the fucking vaccine out, lick it between the fucking peanut butter or whatever.
That guy is just like, he's just walking around with a big thing of Jif, spreading it on stuff for the dog to lick.
I tried everything I know. Problem is I don't fucking know anything about this.
Why don't you just hit the fucking coronavirus with a rolled up newspaper, you idiot?
Okay, here's the thing, guys. We tried rubbing its nose in it. That got a lot more people sick. That was a terrible idea.
Didn't work. Didn't work.
Wow.
Real
what
bad
a bad
idea.
idea that was. Really don't know anything about this. No idea why I have this job.
Listen to me, Randy. It doesn't matter what you look like on the outside, whether you're white or black or Sasquatch even. As long as you follow your dream, no matter how crazy or against the law it is. Except for Sasquatch. If you're Sasquatch, the rules are different.
All right, so this story has nothing to do with anything. It's from Fox56.com, but it's amazing. I love everything about this story. I'm just going to read parts of it.
This is still, weird things, Tom, are still happening.
I love, this is why I have faith that America will never change. Take that for exactly what it is. Large group.
I love that it's a large group.
Large group busted for meat market theft after leaving trail of meat behind. There's just one set of meat footprints and like 6 guys carrying the other guy.
I was thinking more like this. You walk up and you got your magnifying glass out. You pull your magnifying glass out, and you just see like a string of kielbasa leading away, like sausages leading away, and the person's following the sausage as they're walking down. There seems to be a trail of meat here.
What was stolen? Meat. Should we follow the meat?
Just follow the drop.
Imagine like if they called in like the canine unit. The dog's like, I've been waiting for this job my whole life.
The dog is just burying evidence. It's like digging up, putting it in so you can save it for later.
Ruh-roh. I know where the meat is.
This is a fucking dog eating a bunch of Scooby snacks. So explain what happened here. So just a trail of meat. They stole a bunch of meat, right?
I'm just going to read part of this because it's fucking amazing, right? So around 4:30 a.m. Tuesday, which you gotta want it. Tuesday, Visalia police officers responded to a burglary at the Jalisco meat market. When officers arrived, they detained one adult and a boy under the age of 18, leaving the business. Officers followed a trail of meat to a nearby apartment where they found more people that were involved. Detectives executed a search warrant. I fucking cannot imagine how wonderful it would have been to be like both signing off and requesting that search warrant. Because you have to specify what you're looking for.
Oh, and you go to the judge and be like, my warrant has a first name. It's OSCAR.
Oh, God.
Oh, gosh.
Jesus. Well, can you imagine like you're like, all right, I'm looking for a lady. I know it's a meat market out there. But
I'm looking to meet up. Meet single ladies in your area. Oh my God. Oh, Jesus, dude.
Oh, God. So detectives executed a search warrant at the home and found 6 adults and 5 minors connected to the burglary. Overall, 13 people were arrested for the crime. Detectives found some of the stolen meat being cooked. So they're just like,
everybody's just super high or something.
Who wants right? How fucking wasted are you that you're like, it's 4:30 in the morning. We need a barbecue. We just straight up need to barbecue.
More or less wasted than stopping at a White Castle. Which one? Like, would you have to be more or less wasted at that point?
Police say the kitchen at the home was filled with food, so the thieves weren't stealing meat out of desperation. That's the other part I like. They're just like,
they stole it for choice.
Yeah, they're just like, they stole it for prime, probably.
Yeah. It wasn't choice.
They selected.
Yeah, exactly. You're skipping over selected choice. You go right for the prime.
Come on down to Cleveland town, everyone. Under construction since 1868. See our river that catches on fire. It's so polluted that all our fish have AIDS. We see the sun almost 3 times a year. This guy has at least 2 DUIs. It could be worse though, at least we're not Detroit. We're not Detroit.
This story comes from MSN. 6 tourists were found self-isolating in a cave near an Indian town made famous by the Beatles after running out of money for hotels.
What now?
Yeah, okay. So when we're doing wacky stories, we just have to read some of the wacky stories because, 6 foreign tourists self-isolated in a cave near a northern Indian town after they ran out of money to pay for hotel rooms. Police said the 4 men and 2 women from France, Turkey, Ukraine, the United States, and Nepal. That is a fucking international coalition of homelessness.
Yeah, no
That's
kidding.
what that is.
But it's like a fucking mini UN. What the fuck, man?
They're playing Model UN, but they forgot to like build the UN building. It's like, I don't know.
Housing.
We're gonna...
Wouldn't it be, Tom, wouldn't it be the worst time to be a fucking tourist somewhere
Oh
else?
my God.
Jesus Christ, be stuck somewhere? That's what it feels like happened is that they got stuck while they were out traveling. I remember right when this hit, like right at the beginning of all this, there were selfies of people in airplanes because they bought super cheap airline tickets and were flying like first class because there wasn't anybody on the airlines back then. We're talking, say the week or 2 before shutdown was when people first started saying, you know, I don't know, they want to fly now, and a bunch of trips were being canceled. And I remember seeing people saying, well, I'm off to the Riviera, I'm off here, I'm off there, I'm off to go somewhere, because they had cheap flights and they were young, and everybody back then thought if you're young, you're immune, essentially.
Yeah.
And so they were flying overseas and just traveling. I wonder if some of those people just got caught doing that. I know, I'm sure there's people who are like backpackers and such that got caught, you know, far away. That sort of seems like what this is. But I wonder if other people just got caught in other countries just fucked because they you know, planned badly.
I'm sure that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what it. Did you see the story about the couple or family or whatever that went on a sailing trip and they were gone for a month and they're just like, what the fuck just happened?
My gosh.
Like they like showed up and they're just like,
oh my gosh, that would be
and like
insane.
the same is true of like submariners. So like I read a story about like submariners. They go down
6 months at a time. Yeah.
and they don't necessarily have communication with the outside world. That's like part of the gig. So they're just like, everything was fine, you know, like,
can't wait till I get on R&R.
I know, right? Like, oh yeah, gonna tear it up. Little night on the town?
Yeah.
Why is the town broken?
Yeah,
There's no
why
town.
are there so many crickets? Why are people screaming at 8 p.m.?
Yeah,
Are they doing that by you? Did people
no,
scream by 8
No,
p.m.?
do they do that by you?
8 p.m. every night. People will lean out their window and scream and flip their lights, and it's happening by me, and it's been happening since the pandemic started. And it's
How long does it last?
For about 5 minutes. It's a movement called Howl at the Moon, and it's 8 p.m. here in Chicago. And people just scream and scream and scream. Initially, I wasn't sure what it was, and a bunch of people were saying, "Oh, they're cheering for the workers who are getting off shift at the hospital." And I said, I don't live by a hospital. I don't live anywhere near a hospital, so that doesn't make any sense. And then a bunch of people sent me messages and said, "Oh no, it's this Howl at the Moon thing that's happening. It's just a Facebook group or whatever, and people just get out and scream, and they bang pot lids and just scream and yell for 5 minutes at 8 o'clock, lets off some steam, I guess, and then they go back to their daily life of screaming inside only."
So, like, as the summer goes on, are they going to have to like push that out because like the moon won't even be available?
I know, right? The moon's not even available at 8.
Sunny.
Yeah.
Like,
still sunny at 8 o'clock, and they're going to yell. I don't know.
The sun. Okay.
How's it feel? Call the police? No. Don't call the police. My friend, you've been kicked in the nuts. No. You guys are hilarious. Thanks. Oh my God. We love this show. Where'd you go?
This story comes from the New York Post. Testicles may make men more vulnerable to coronavirus, says a study. I read this, Cecil, and I thought, man, it takes balls to hang on to the coronavirus for a long time.
Sure does. Know? Yeah.
And then I thought, like, testicles make men more vulnerable, period. Like, they're just nature's bad idea. Like at what point did testicles ever help somebody out? At what
they
point?
Are 100% proof against intelligent design. 100%.
They are the worst.
100%.
There is nothing like more fucking weird about just like, I don't know, that thing hurts if like the air is a little wrong. Like put it on the outside of the body in a retractable bag. And then cover it in hair and make sure it's never attractive.
Yeah.
Right next to the thing you want somebody to suck.
Yeah. And every time any kind of air pressure change happens around it, it hurts like somebody punched you in the fucking in the stomach with a fucking anvil. That's what it feels like every single time.
Like, what a stupid garbage design men are. Like, we are the most like nasty utilitarian garbage
Absolutely.
gender.
Absolutely.
This thing is just a piece of fucking garbage.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever sketched a man naked on purpose. You know, you sketch a man naked just to see if you could do it.
Yeah. It's like sketching a cockroach. You know?
You're like, can I get a bowl of fruit? Like, can't I just get like a nice bowl of fruit?
I'll just have 2 apples and a banana. Can I just get that instead?
I don't want to draw this fucking twig and berries bullshit. What the fuck?
Oh, yeah. They say that it stays inside of your body, inside the testicles for an extra 4 days, like it's getting the grand tour. Like, it's just like, no, I really like it here. I like it here. Is there any way you can just show me the second bathroom while I'm here? It's the worst. It's the worst. The other thing though is that this is from a paper though, where they posted that chloroquine stuff. So it's just a place where they post drafts of medical papers. It's what Natalia told us about a couple of weeks ago. It's from that same site. And so there's no saying that that's true or, that there's any kind of scientific backing behind this. And many people are saying the reason why men have it over women is because they're more often smokers, they're more often in ill health. And those types of things are the things that are contributing to men having it longer. Right. Other than just having a pair of balls.
Yeah. What a fucking kick in the nuts that
exactly,
is. Exactly,
right? Jesus.
This is Frankly over here. we find your American beer is a little like making love in a canoe. Making love in a canoe? It's fucking close to water.
So I love this. This is from thegrio.com. And I wondered, when I read this, I wondered if maybe Heath had gotten a job in Kenya. Kenya governor adds bottles of Hennessy to coronavirus care package. And the claim in including that the Hennessy would be as involved in the care package was that it was throat sanitizer.
I love
Somebody
this.
just wanted some fucking Hennessy.
Exactly. That's exactly it. And they even said, the guy even said, the companies even come out and said, no, this is not a good idea. It's not good against the coronavirus. Everybody else is saying that alcohol isn't what you want here at this point because it lowers your inhibitions and shit that you're doing to do more reckless behaviors. It's totally not useful right now.
Yeah,
and they're just like, yeah,
the worst thing right now.
I'd like some of it. Okay, well then just say you want some of it instead of saying everyone needs it. There's a difference.
Yeah, the claim, the further claim, I love this, is says, I think from the research conducted by the World Health Organization and various organizations, it has been believed that alcohol plays a major role in killing the coronavirus. And the WHO was like, we never said that. What? Like, if you pour alcohol on the virus, it probably is not good for the virus. But also, unless you're like inhaling the Hennessy rather than drinking it.
Right.
Like, unless you're like waterboarding yourself with fucking Hennessy, it's probably not super fucking useful.
Do you like cognac?
I'm gonna admit, I don't know that I've had cognac. I was trying to think, like, is it similar to brandy?
So it is brandy. It's just from the cognac region of France.
Oh, then I can answer that question. I despise brandy. I think it's disgusting.
Yeah, brandy is
so sweet.
Distilled wine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so fucking sweet. I hate it. So if cognac is just brandy I think is generally repulsive. It kind of tastes to me like boiled raisins.
Yeah, that's exactly what it tastes like. Yeah, that's a very good analogy. Yeah,
Do you like it?
I am not a fan. I like it in some cooking. It's good for cooking sometimes, and I've used cooking brandy before. But for me, it's the same. I feel the same way, and I know like a lot of people like it, but I feel the same way about port. Because port has it in there, so it's like it's just fortified wine, and that's not for me.
No, man,
I don't like it.
It's like thick and like kind of. I don't know. I don't even mind medicinal flavors generally. Like I'm drinking whiskey. Whiskey's medicinal. Has some medicinal qualities to it for sure. But like. It's just kind of too much. It's kind of just overwhelming.
Sure.
I don't mind a little sip, but I don't want a second sip.
Yeah, you're right. It's like a tasting. It's like a little taste. I wouldn't want to sit down with a glass of it.
Yeah.
It'd be fine to have a tiny sip of it. That's fine. You're right. Like if somebody's passing around a flask or something, maybe. But, although that's a weird thing to think about in post-coronavirus times.
Yeah, think about all the shit like you used to do where you're just like,
here, try this.
Yeah, I'll basically lick your asshole.
Here, try this.
Yeah.
Here. No, just eat it right off my fork. Just eat my ass right off my fork. That's what you need to do. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of brandies at all. And that's I've never, and I also wonder too, do you just drink it straight? Do you add something to, because I don't know how to consume it even.
Yeah, so the last time I had brandy, I was visiting a friend and their dad poured a like very, very tiny. I mean, it was probably a half ounce in this little tiny little glass thing of like brandy. And I got the strong impression that it would have been rude not to drink it. And it was maybe a little expensive. And he was trying to be like very gentlemanly and offer this as a host. And so I did drink it. And it was like drinking, like I said, boiled raisins. It was like, good at first, and then it's just too much. It's overwhelming. I think it's consumed straight.
Okay.
I think it's consumed straight in like a snifter glass.
Yeah.
And it's very
not like a
small.
mixer or something like that. Yeah. Okay.
I know there are some drinks that I've had that have, or I've seen that have brandy as an ingredient, but I've excluded them because they had brandy as an ingredient. I feel the same way about fennel. Like I see like fennel
Me
is
too,
like,
buddy. Me too.
Dude, that shit is like all the rage. Every restaurant you go to, every menu, it's like, that looks so fennel.
I hate it.
It's fucking everywhere right now.
It's a terrible flavor, and it's also overused. It's so overused that it's not a flavor that I think is something that everyone enjoys. I think a lot of people don't like fennel. I mean, it's funny because I talk to a ton of people and I'll say, oh yeah, there's fennel in it. And immediately people are saying, I'm not interested anymore. Yeah. I don't understand why it's all the rage.
But it is, like you agree, right?
Oh,
like,
absolutely. It's constantly. It's all over the place. Yeah.
Like,
every menu.
There's like a small handful of things. You know me. Like I like way more things than I don't
Way more I know. Yeah.
Way more. And like, there's so many restaurants that I'm like, all right, the handful of things I don't like include goat cheese and fennel. And like, there's like restaurants you go to and it's like, you could get goat cheese on your fennel or fennel on your goat cheese. Now we can produce a nice goat cheese cake with a fennel puree. We could have steak covered in fennel on a bed of goat cheese with a nice roasted chicken with stuffed with fennel. It's got fennel, of course, in there. It's fucking, are you kidding me? With those two ingredients, you can barely go anywhere. And they're like the only two things I don't like.
They come over to the table and this cocktail is on the house. It's pureed fennel, goat cheese, and cognac.
You know what? If they did it, I would be like, yeah, fuck it. Give that thing. Like, you know what? Because I think I would hate that enough to come full circle. Yeah, like I think I would hate that so hard that I would
like
fucking love it.
It's like a food vaccination. Then you immediately love all of them again.
My safe word is pineapple juice.
Put your hands behind your back. Palms up. Put your hands behind your back. Both hands.
It's warm. Oh, watch your hands, bud. Those are my quarters. You want to put those in your pocket? That is change. You know how long it took me to acquire those? Some of those are limited edition. And watch your fingers, booty hole man.
I love this so much. This is from
shit.
WGN. Florida man tried to use fake COVID.
Florida man. Oh, Florida man. Florida man's the best.
Florida man tried to use fake COVID-19 sign to dodge arrest, the sheriff says. So this is basically what it is. They were looking for this dude and they're like, they go up to his door and he's just like, I have COVID-19. He put a sign on the door like,
okay.
Ye shall not enter.
He put a sign on the door and I want to describe this sign. Okay. So first off, the sign is written clearly on something bumpy because it's not on a flat surface that he wrote this. He put it on like a book with texture on it because the texture is transferred over onto the sign. So it is a textured, he's writing on a textured surface with a ballpoint pen, a blue ballpoint pen, I think. He has, this is how it's spelled. Capital C, middle size O, not sure. Capital V, lowercase I, capital D. Now, I want to talk about the I real quick before we continue.
Oh, yes, you have to.
So, what kind of psychopath puts a circle as a fucking dot to an I? Yeah, like you're a fucking psychopath if you do that. There's something seriously wrong with you if you're circling your eye.
You are allowed to dot your I with a circle if you're like a 7th grade girl.
Yes.
But if you're a grown-ass man named Joshua with a fucking felony warrant, you cannot dot your I with a fucking circle.
I would say the moment you are able to vote, regardless of any kind of gender, there's no more circle. There's no more circle on the I. I don't care. You're not allowed to do it anymore. You're an adult now. You can either be drafted into war or do the circle over your eye. Those are your two options. You can't do any others.
Yeah, like, is he going to use like a heart for an exclamation?
I know.
Like, what?
Exactly. Is he going to put a smiley face in his O here? What the fuck is going on? So the rest of the sign is lowercase I with a circle again, psychopath. Yep. Uppercase N, uppercase F.
Extra uppercase F. It's twice as big as all the other letters.
It's bigger than everything else. Lowercase ECTED. So he did 2 in a row in uppercases and then he gave up. Since is right. Since is uppercase followed by the rest lowercase. So, but it's handwritten, hand scrawled, taped to his door with electrical tape, hand scrawled and written over a couple times with ballpoint pen. Clearly the work of a forger master. Clearly the work.
Brilliant, except for that the sheriff had this to say. Placing a fake COVID-19 sign on your door will not stop us from kicking it in when you have felony warrants for your arrest.
Okay, let's see here. Toilet paper. Toilet paper, toilet paper, toilet paper, toilet paper, toilet paper, toilet paper, and toilet paper. Hey, now you kids be careful with this chewing gum. Don't go sticking it under tables.
Okay.
Okay, toilet paper, toilet paper, toilet paper.
Oh, God, this is some fucking comeuppance shit. This is from Newsweek.
Dude, this is justice porn right here. This is what this is.
I grabbed this for you because I know how much you love comeuppance.
Oh, justice.
Man who bought $10,000 worth of toilet paper and hand sanitizer denied a refund. So this motherfucker bought, exactly as I said, just a fucking metric shit ton of toilet paper and hand sanitizer. And then when his eBay store got shut down because he was trying to do some fucking profiteering bullshit, he was like, well, now I have 5 figures worth of shitter paper and hand sanitizer. And he goes to the store to return it. And they're just like, no.
It's not worth the paper it's printed on top. Oh, man, it's so good. It's so good. It's so fun to watch people who are trying to exploit a situation get wrecked. I mean, I think it's you don't want to, you want to, what you want is, what happened when this started was there was panic. And people panic bought all kinds of things, right? There was things that people panic bought. From food types to, when I first went to the store, we were talking about milk earlier. Milk was all gone. Bread was all gone. There's people panic buying lots of different things. I don't know, dude. I don't know what you're doing with it. But anyway, there's this idea that people panic bought a lot of shit. And toilet paper was one of those things that was out for a long time. And there was several videos of people loading truckfuls of toilet paper into their, That one guy who had all those masks in New York got them all confiscated because he just bought a shit ton of N95 masks that he was going to sell. Someone who had all those sanitizers had to donate them in Pennsylvania because he just had all those hand sanitizers that he bought out from all the different stores in all the entire area. And then they basically wouldn't let him sell them on Amazon anymore because he was price gouging people. So these are not innocent actors.
No,
these are people who are going on, because here's the thing, that guy could sell all that toilet paper and not make a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
He could make a very small amount of money and do all that labor to send all that toilet paper to people essentially for free, and it's not worth his dime. So he doesn't want to do it.
Yeah. If these guys bought all this shit and wanted to make honestly, if they wanted to make something approaching a reasonable profit, if they bought it and kicked up the price 10, 15, 20% and had a nice little return on their investment because they happen to be ahead of the psychology of the market, I don't know how much of a problem I would have with that. The thing is, they're double, triple, quadruple more the price. Yeah. That's just straight fucking people over.
It's gouging.
That's
it's just
not
gouging.
Seeing an opportunity and trying to capitalize, because it's not the most ethical thing, but at a reasonable markup, it's all right, that's how the world works. Let's accept it and move on. 10, 15,
that's what people
20%.
did with iPhones. Yeah, that's what people did with iPhones when they first came out. They sell them for more. We have an entire stadium sale of ticket process that works like that.
Right.
That's how you buy tickets nowadays to go anywhere. There's no longer a you buy, because when I was a kid, you used to stand in line at Ticketmaster. That's how I used to get tickets back in the day. And now you don't do that.
Have you tried to do that at all?
No.
I got to tell you, so I bought tickets to see Tool. So Tool came to Chicago, I don't know, about either 6 months or 300 years ago. I'm not sure how
150 years ago, yeah.
So,
right.
But I did the thing with Ticketmaster. So I had the Ticketmaster app, and I did this thing where you enter the waiting room. So I knew what time they were going on sale, and now you don't call and hang up and call and hang up and call and hang up, or wait in a line. Now you get in a digital queue, right? And I was all excited to see Tool. So I knew when they were going on sale, and I was ready, and I had my phone on the app, and as soon as I could enter the queue, the second Cecil, it let me enter the queue. I was "Bah!" And I entered the queue, and it was there are 6,000 people before you. And I was how could that even be possible? Thousands and thousands and I bought those tickets. I mean, I was a goddamn fucking mongoose striking a cobra. I was trying to be so fast. I bought tickets in the very last row of the United Center. I was so high up, I was basically outside in the parking lot looking through a spyglass at that goddamn concert. That is the only, and that's like how you buy tickets for face value now. Like, that's it. Because bots are doing all the rest of it.
Well, and
bots
then there's
are
also
faster.
Yeah, bots are faster, and there's that markup at like all those other places. That's how you get tickets to places now. You don't get tickets like you used to.
No,
where you used to you don't do that. Now it's just gouging. Now it's just constant gouging. So, that's how this works. And this guy got his fucking crazy comeuppance, and that's awesome.
Well, so I want to read this last part of the story because speaking of justice, this guy goes to return all this stuff, right? And the manager of the grocery store says, yeah, I had my first customer yesterday. He said he wanted to get a refund on 150 packages of 32-pack toilet paper and 150 units of 1-liter hand sanitizer. And I told him that, Drake said, as he showed off his middle finger to the camera.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
You know what? I'm about to say it. Okay. I don't care that you broke your elbow.
This story comes from the Business Insider. Police say commander of neo-Nazi group linked to plan attack on CNN was 13 years old. I fucking love the internet so much. Like, the internet is the fucking, like, this is so great. It's like, rah, we're gonna fucking get him, and like this, we're gonna rally behind Jim Bob 630897 Commander Strike Force, whatever. And it's some fucking 13-year-old.
You know how he got the job? He was playing Xbox Live, and he could call anybody the N-word super fast. And so he got the job really. I mean, like, that's the application system for the job. They're following a 13-year-old. That shows you how fucking immature your mindset is if you could be easily led by a 13-year-old.
This is fucking everything. These fucking neo-Nazi clown shoe-ass motherfuckers are just like, well, this leader, this great fucking thought leader around our fucking white supremacist ideology is fucking 13. That's an 8th grader. That's not even high school.
I know, he's not even high school yet. That's amazing.
Like, that kid just smells bad. Like, that's somebody like, that's a 13. Like, you're not even showering on your own without your mom telling you anymore.
Oh, God, 13 years old. And he's your leader. He's your leader. He's 13.
No.
Oh, my God. He can't even cook himself food. He wants a fucking yogurt cup out of the fridge. He still gets an allowance, man.
13, you can't even get a work permit. How the fuck are you supposed to be the commander of a neo-Nazi army?
You're right.
You'd be like, oh, wait a minute, guys. It's 9 o'clock. I'm at my curfew. I can't kill black people anymore.
What a dumbass.
My mom's going to be so mad at me.
Oh, gosh. Let me tell you, all those fucking dipshits out there that would follow this person. This is exactly who you're following, is a child. That's exactly who you're following. Because whether it's a child that's 13 or it's a 50-year-old, fucking giant fucking beard, rebel flag shirt, gun carrying dipshit who also is of the same exact mindset. It's an immature mindset.
Yeah, it's the same guy.
And that's why this kid excelled, because those people that are in this mindset, they haven't grown up either.
Yeah, they can't. They literally cannot tell the difference. They're online and they cannot tell the difference between a jackass and a fucking baby.
He's Tyler Durden to that.
Yeah, right. It's exactly it.
It's like, maybe when you was a little kid, maybe stole a bag of potato chips. That might be like $6 a fine. So you gotta give him back $6. Lying, every time you lie, $10. Murder, that's the worst one. $100,000. Masturbation, 35 cents would be my guess. Cheapest sin. But it can amount up, a period of time. 35.
So I promise this story is not actually an ad. This is a story from Mashable. You can find it on the notes. sex toy sales are skyrocketing because of social distancing. And I'm just going to go ahead and read part of this. The weeks of social distancing are dragging on. We see our friends on Zoom and treat our hinge matches like we're in some Austenian courtship. After a while, though, video chats and sex just don't cut it. And I thought this was funny. Many of us turn to masturbating, as if our audience has to turn to masturbating.
I like that you're just sitting at home, you're smoking your pipe, drinking your tea, and you're thinking, what can I do right now? Is there something I can do other than this right now?
So sex toy sales are fucking jumping through the roof. And this article talks about AdamandEve.com.
Adam and Eve.
And I say this is because of you guys. This is our listeners. Their sales are up 30%. Thank you. 30 fucking %.
And if you want to get a sex toy, and you should, here's the thing, right? Like there's good ways to stimulate the economy. And if you go to AdamandEve.com, you can get 50% off almost any item, a bunch of free stuff, and you get free shipping. And all you have to do is enter the code word GLORY at checkout. Adam and Eve is our sponsor. It's the sponsor of the show. We've had one or two sponsors in the past, but Adam and Eve has been a steadfast sponsor of this show. Man. We would love it if you would use our code if you're going to go to Adam and Eve. It pays Ian's salary.
Remember, every time you think of your sex toy, think Ian. That's whenever you bust out that wascally wabbit or
I gotta find out what Ian's middle name is so I can name all the sex toys.
I'm just gonna encourage everybody to just masturbate with a Grammy. Just figure out some way to just masturbate with a Grammy, bang it out 3 times.
Or masturbate with your Grammy. You know what I mean?
Whatever works for you at AdamandEve.com.
Do it over social distancing. You're zooming Grammy.
Hey everybody, this next clip comes from our recent live stream on April 23rd of 2020. We live stream every Thursday at 9 p.m. Central, and this week we're going to be streaming exclusively to youtube.com/dissonancepod. So see you there.
All right, here we go. Let's play just a clip, just the tip of Pat Robertson. Pat Robertson blames coronavirus on same-sex marriage. Here we go. Oh, God. Look at this guy. It's 1:14. Jesus Christ. Oh, my God.
Right? He's
Holy
fucking
shit.
melting.
He is genuinely like when you get old enough and your head starts to sink into your body like a turtle, like it's just slowly melting into the rest of you.
He looks like carving a face into an apple. You ever carve a face into an apple and let it it just gums
and let it rot?
Curls up?
Let it rot? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no, he's definitely a rotting apple.
God damn.
Also, I mean, he kind of looks like Ruth Bader Ginsburg here a little.
Cecil, did you ever see the video that was out I don't know, maybe 8 or 9 years back of him leg pressing 500 pounds?
Oh, yeah, I did see that where he was on one of those slidey presses where he was.
Where you can move 1 trillion pounds no problem.
Where you can move a whole car and because it's mechanically helping you to push it all up. Yeah.
Right.
All right, let's play this. Here we go.
This is John Pat, who says, Pat, last week you were talking about COVID-19. You quoted Chronicles 7:14. How can God heal our land and forgive the sins when abortion and same-sex marriage are laws and many people are anti-Israel? Doesn't this prevent his healing and forgiveness?
I love that God is just up there thinking, you know what? As long as there's an anti-Israel person in America, I ain't fixing that COVID stuff. That ain't happening. Yeah. I ain't doing it. I'm sorry.
I'm not going to fix it in the whole world because of what America does.
In the whole world.
You know what? I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to start at a different place, and then it's going to move across the whole world for a little while now before it gets to America. And then I'm not going to fix it because of what America does. What the fuck?
All right, we got a bunch of new patrons, and one of my new favorites is someone who I became friends with on Facebook. This is Matthew, and Matthew, he's part of a group that I belong to, and I remember Matthew because Matthew gave us, Tom, and you will remember Matthew when I tell you what he did. He gave us donuts at ReasonCon.
Yes.
He gave us bacon donuts. Do you remember this?
I do.
So Matthew
This
gave
is
us
like
donuts.
ReasonCon 1.
This is a while ago, right? So he gave us donuts. And when he gave us the donuts, we got a chance to meet him. And so I saw his name on Facebook in a group I belong to. And I thought, oh, I should friend that guy. I know him. I've met him in person. I know him. And so I sent him a message. And I guess he keeps his friend list to a very paired round number of 666. And so he said to me, he said, I have to let somebody go if I'm going to be your friend. He private messaged me. And he said, so I let Richard Carrier go. and I said, what I just read is Cecil is superior to Richard Carrier. And he said, that is exactly it. So his patron name is Matthew says Cecil is superior to Richard Carrier. And that's why, is because I kicked Richard Carrier off his friends list. And we still thank you. We still thank you, Matthew, for those donuts. And when you're in Chicago, I will take you to Stan's Donuts. I promise. We'll buy you a Stan's Donuts, which are superior to Danish in every way. So let's get our rest of our patrons.
Just moving.
Matthew says Cecil is superior to Professor Carrier. Simon, Cram Glass, Mike, Dave, Anna, Lefty and Augie Jack, Julie, Mitchell, Bull, Wee Wees, Pascal, Emma, and the Silent Sufferers, Nathan, Kevin, Matt, Louise, Damien, Tommy, Rich, Karsten, Chris, Joseph. I thought it was a patron already.
I like that one. I saw that one this week.
That's a great one. I love that one. And I know, and the thing is I know who I know the person who is behind that patron name, and he's a dear friend of mine from a group I belong to, and so I want to thank him for being a patron again. Thank you, Stephen, Rhyme Time, Luis, Evan, Peter and Kathy, Dion, Dave. And then people who up their pledges, Bran, Regina, Karen, Matt, Nicholas, Philip, Steve, Lisa, Steeljaw Panda, Jose, and Catherine. Thanks so much for your generous donations. We really do truly appreciate it. Every day, in every call, I hear about downsizing in my higher ed business. Yeah. And so I'm very grateful that people are able to donate and to give us some kind of safety net for the work that we put in for this show. So we want to thank you so much for donating. And now's a great time if you have some extra money and you are not in crisis from COVID, we would really appreciate you becoming a patron. You get a lot of extra stuff. And we love our patrons.
Yeah, I gotta say thank you guys. It's a tremendous amount of comfort to know that Cecil and I have this safety net, that we may need this to, support our families. So having you guys step up the last few weeks and really kind of come to the table and become patrons and up your patrons, it means the world to us both. So we're very grateful to you.
So I got a message from Kevin, and Kevin contacted us through Facebook, and he said, hey, I just started listening to your podcast. I was listening to the March 23rd episode where you're talking about the Netherlands and how the Netherlands was going to give 90% of people's pay to people who live in the Netherlands, and if they lost their job. And the thing is that he's saying that their tax rate is over 50% of their income, and I didn't mention that. And so he wanted to make sure that I was covering my bases there to actually mention that they pay more in taxes. Now, I responded with, I think that the Netherlands having a higher tax rate feels like common knowledge to me. So if you didn't know, if you're not listening to the show and you didn't know that the Netherlands pay a higher tax rate when I mentioned that, please send me a message so I can know whether or not I'm incorrect, because it feels like it feels like something that would be common knowledge. But if it's not, I want to mention it because I don't want to mislead people to think that they're paying less money. They are paying more money, but they also have a significantly better social safety net, and they're really not paying that much more money than we are. They're paying more money, but not by a lot.
Yeah, it's almost like if you pay more in taxes, then you can get significantly higher value in return for that tax.
Exactly.
Burden. And that is an equation that all countries have to decide upon for themselves. What tax burden is acceptable and what is the return you demand on that additional tax burden? So that's an entirely fair conversation countries are always juggling.
We got a message from Jess on Patreon, and this is something we missed last week. We're talking about Voltron, Tom. Voltron not only starts out as lions, turns into the big bitey foot, bitey hand, bitey face lion.
Yep.
Man automaton. He also draws a sword, but then he finally, when his final form, goes Blazing Sword. And we forgot about Blazing Sword.
Forgot about Blazing Sword.
Totally forgot about it.
Yeah,
I missed it.
I love Blazing Swords. When you punch the horse falls over.
It's really great. That's a donkey punch, Tom. That's different. Okay. So we got a message. This is from Jim. And Jim just wanted to let us know Sioux Falls was one of the first cities in the U.S. to roll out 5G.
Cities.
Wow,
Cities.
That's amazing.
Quotations around cities, please.
Okay, yeah, 5G. Good for you.
Yeah, both of your users have excellent internet.
You have as many G's as you have tumbleweeds in your front yard. Great.
But Cecil, real quick, let's play a game. Guess the population of Sioux Falls. You want to play?
Okay, I'm going to try. 160,000.
You were very close. 181,000.
Wow!
181,000. About 20,000 less than the tiny exurb that I live in. I live in a suburb so far from the city center that I am an exurb. If you get any further, there's nothing but corn, and you're no longer considered the metropolitan region. I'm 40-some miles.
You have to name your kid Malachi, 2 blocks west of you. Yeah.
180, the big city of Sioux Falls.
Big city. Do you remember we were in, I know we might have mentioned this before, but we were in Michigan and we ran into a militia guy who had a cannon. And when we talked about, we had mentioned, we were from Chicago and they said, oh, I can't go to the big city. I don't even like Grand Rapids.
Grand Rapids.
Grand Rapids.
I don't like going into the big city.
It's too big for me.
Grand Rapids, Michigan, my friend.
Grand Rapids might have a McDonald's.
Grand Rapids, which I actually like Grand Rapids. I think it's a cool little city. Population is 200,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matthew sent in a message and he sent in a story. This is from the Daily Wire. Social shredding. Defiant residents grab shovels, dirt bikes after Cali authorities dump tons of sand in the skate parks for social distancing. So it looks like the California authorities just dumped a bunch of sand into the skate parks so they couldn't skate or ride their bikes through the quarter pipes there. I will say this, if he's asking for our thoughts, I will say this, if there is a stay-at-home order, then they should find ways to stop people from congregating if they aren't listening to the stay-at-home order. And if that stay-at-home order means, finding people, if it means stopping people from entering parks like they did in Chicago with the tape, you're not allowed to enter the parks because they put yellow tape there and people are mostly, for the most part, listening. Then they should do those things because it's not just about you. It's about the people you can infect. It's about the other people that you can hurt because you want to hang out with other people. And the first weekend here in Chicago where they put the stay-at-home order in and you're allowed to go for a walk, I was going for a walk, social distancing, and saw an entirely full skate park of kids. So people weren't social distancing. So I think that if you're going to have to enforce it, you should try to enforce it. I don't see any problem with dumping sand in the middle of a skate park if that slows you down from being there.
Look, I'm sympathetic to hating the stay-at-home order, but if you don't want a longer stay-at-home order, you have to respect the one that we have. I fucking hate it. But I also recognize the necessity for it and the desire for the stay-at-home order to end sooner. If you want the stay-at-home order to drag on, don't do the stay-at-home part.
Exactly. We got an image from Aaron. It's just wrong. I'm going to post it on this week's show notes, but it's pretty wrong.
It's pretty rough.
It's pretty wrong. We also got a video, and a bunch of people have been sending this to us. This is Kenneth Copeland's Wind of God remix when he banished the coronavirus from the United States. And you could tell when Kenneth Copeland did this a couple weeks ago because we had no more cases of coronavirus since then.
That solved it.
Fucking, he dusted his fucking hands off after this happened. This fucking howdy doody looking motherfucker. Anyway, that guy, they did a remix video of this. We're going to post it on this week's show notes. It's actually really funny. And Tony is from Rogers Park, Tony. In Rogers Park. Hope you're social distancing up there. Got a bunch of messages this last week from people who were asking me about the trip that I talked about. I lost some money on a trip, and a bunch of people making suggestions. I have done most of the things that people have said, but I want to thank everybody for sending in messages and offering me some sort of advice on how to fix the trip that I went on. We got a nice long message from Liz, who was saying basically like don't use third-party sites because hotel workers hate third-party sites. And I got to tell you, the only reason I use the third-party site on this, and I normally don't, because I have rewards cards with some hotels, and so I normally get a pretty good rate with some hotels. The problem is I was going overseas, and I was on TripAdvisor, and when I was clicking the button, the rate was right there, and it's like it would say the rate, and I would click the button, and it would take me to. And it turned out to be Expedia. And so Expedia was the place that was giving the cheap rate, but I just never really thought to shift away from that to get the rate somewhere else.
Right.
And how the hell was I supposed to know we were going to cancel the trip? I mean, when you make a trip like this, especially when you're spending that kind of money, it never entered my mind that we wouldn't be on this trip. One of us would die, I think, for us to think that we wouldn't. I mean, seriously, if you're spending that kind of money, you don't think ahead of time, oh, well, we might just not be on this trip. You don't think like that.
Right.
And I made the mistake. I made the mistake this time of doing it, but I won't do that again. I won't use the third-party sites again to do it. I'll just go to hotel sites and just go directly to hotel sites and use them like I do with airlines. That's what I do with airlines now. And I haven't used a third-party airline site in forever because of the bad situation I've had with those. So and so I'll do the same with hotels. And if I have to pay a little extra, I pay a little extra. It's just the way it works. So this next week, we are going to be trying a new. We tried this week. We had a great time on Twitch. So we just did Twitch. We just did Twitch. There's a couple streaming issues, and Twitch is sometimes a little not great if you're not a partner. So we are now going to try a new one because we wanted to see how well we would do on Twitch. Twitch turned out to be a great forum for a lot of people to talk and chit chat with each other. And it's great because everybody's in the same chat room together, right? The problem with what we're doing when we have these communities spread out all over into different places is we can read all your chats, right? Because we're running on Restream. So I can read what somebody on Facebook says and I can read what somebody on YouTube says, but they can't read what each other say. And on Twitch, we were able to put everybody in the same chat room together. And so they were all able to chat with each other at the same time. And that's what the important part of the community is. So next week, we're going to be live streaming just like we normally were, but we're going to try YouTube next week. So we're going to start everywhere and then we're going to shift to YouTube. We hope you join us for these live streams. We're having a great time. These last couple weeks, we are just dying laughing and having an absolute blast.
It's been a great time. So we're really looking forward to having a bigger and bigger audience doing the live piece. It's just extra content, extra produced content that you guys can go check out. So we'd love to have more people hop over.
Yeah, and we think we have kind of a bitchin' setup. So you guys should check it out. If you've never checked them out before, you should check it out. Like it's not just a couple of guys on webcams. It's a little better than that. So you should check it out if you haven't seen it before. It's actually we're pretty proud of our setup. But we're going to be on YouTube next week, 9 p.m. Central. You can find us in the other places, but we're going to shift you over to YouTube in a few minutes after we start. So please come check us out. But that is going to wrap it up for this week. We'll be back next week. And we're going to leave you like we always do with the Skeptic's Creed.
Credulity is not a virtue. It's fortune cookie cutter, mommy issue, hypno Babylon bullshit. Couched in scientician, double bubble, toil and trouble, pseudo quasi alternative, acupunctuating, pressurized, stereogram, pyramidal, free energy healing, watered downward spiral, brain deadpan sales pitch, late night info docutainment. Leo, Pisces, cancer cures, detox, reflex, foot massage, death and towers, tarot cards, psychic healing, crystal balls, Bigfoot, Yeti, aliens, churches, mosques and synagogues, temples, dragons, giant worms, Atlantis, dolphins, truthers, birthers, witches, wizards, vaccine nuts, shaman healers, evangelists, conspiracy, doublespeak, stigmata, nonsense. Expose your sides. Thrust your hands. Bloody, evidential, conclusive. Doubt even this.
The opinions and information provided on this podcast are intended for entertainment purposes only. All opinions are solely that of Glory Hole Studios, LLC. Cognitive Dissonance makes no representations as to accuracy, completeness, currentness, suitability, or validity of any information, and will not be liable for any errors, damages, or butthurt arising from consumption. All information is provided on an as-is basis. No refunds. Produced in association with the local Dairy Council and viewers like you.